This should have been an easy sweep, but I'm going to remind everybody, speaking of the Goat Mask King, he deserved to be wearing a mask to cover his face during game one, at least at the end of it, because everybody remember, with 7 minutes left in game one against these same Trailblazers, emphasis on the trail because all they ever do is trail in basketball games. LeBron James had the basketball in his hands, up 6 with 7 minutes left. And what happened, Mr. Sharp, the rest of the way? He should have said, home, James, I got this, game over. And he got outscored down the stretch 19-6. Are you kidding me? He scored 2 more points the rest of the way, the last 7 minutes, the King did. The Goat Mask King on a little, like, halfway lucky tip put back that accidentally went in. That's all he did. And with 4 minutes left in the game, when he had a chance to tie it and cancel 2 missed free throws by his partner, his co-star, his other GOAT, right? He's a GOAT to be.
Yeah.
LeBron James stepped to the free throw line and clanked or LeBricked both free throws with 4 minutes left. That was LeBron's closing effort against the Trailblazers in game one. And they somehow lost game one, which is all-time pathetic, given the fact that Portland came to the bubble with a record of 29-37. I have never seen such pathetic front-running, chest-beating, showboating, credit-taking against such a sorry team as I saw from LeBron James and the Lakers last night. I was embarrassed for them as much as I was embarrassed for the Portland Trailblazers. So they're up 30 points, and he comes down and shoots a LeBron logo 3. He shoots it from Cape Canaveral, if we could see this. And then what does he do? What does he have the audacity to do after he makes it? He goes up court.
Yes. Yes.
I did that. We're up 33 on the 88th seed. What are you doing?
Whoa.
It's just crazy.
Let me ask you a question. Jenny, if you don't mind me asking, Jenny, can you re-ask the question? What you asked me?
You want to re-ask the question?
Yes, I want you to re-ask me.
What was the most impressive part of that game last night?
Well, how the hell are we going back to Saturday night? How are we going back to game one, Skip? Can we talk about last night?
I didn't wear a goat mask. You did. I'm shooting at the goat mask. I'm showing you how silly it is to put any stock in what you just saw. What happened last night should have happened in game one. It did happen in game two. It did happen in game three. It should have been over last night. No, you know it, and I know it.
No, I don't.
And you're over there chest beating like LeBron is. You're like a chip off the block.
Yeah.
You know, like father, like son.
What about that virtuoso? Yeah. Tell me that wasn't a virtuoso.
Against what?
A playoff
against
team.
An 88th seed? That's what they felt like last night. They're just pathetic. They're the worst. You just admitted it. They're the worst defensive team.
Ron.
What fact you got?
I don't want to look at him. He's scaring me.
Well, hold on. What fact you got after what you saw Saturday night?
First of all, nobody can have a triple-double against the Portland Trailblazers. You're disqualified because they're so bad on defense that nobody can. The record books will not allow it. It's a condition of records that you cannot be given a triple-double against the Portland Trailblazers, the worst defensive team in basketball.
The first pair of teammates to score for 35 and shoot 70% of the playoffs in the game. Is that good or bad? I just want to know, is that good or bad?
Asterisks versus Portland. That's all you need to know. The playoffs are about to start for your Lakers. At tip-off, Daniel House is gone for no reason that we know, personal reasons. Do you know how important he is to a team that plays only 7 deep? These are not the Clippers you're up against right now. It's 5 starters and 2 bench players basically is all they ever play, especially in the playoffs. So Daniel House in game 2 against the Lakers had 13 points and 5 rebounds. And if we go back to the Oklahoma City series, just a couple of quick examples. Game 2 at Oklahoma City, 19-9. Game 3, 15-10. Game 4, 21-6. Daniel House doesn't. Yeah, he matters a whole lot. He is 6 feet 6 inches tall and 220 pounds, and he can guard LeBron.
No, he can't.
And he can guard everybody.
Did you see game 2?
Yeah, I'm just saying, when all of a sudden a team that is cooking, that is right, that has found itself, that is on razor's edge to knock your team off, you lose a key component, one of your 7, and he's out at tip-off, and D'Antoni is asked last night after the game, will he be back for Game 4? I have no idea, and obviously he was miffed, so something went really, really wrong with Daniel House. And then, obviously, Robert Covington got hurt, got smashed in the face and the nose in the fourth quarter.
That was the first quarter or fourth quarter?
Yeah, it was the fourth quarter, and I don't know if he's going to be back. So to your big picture point, I think the Rockets are now cooked. I think if they don't have Daniel House, and it sounds like they won't, and Covington at best will have to wear a mask, and I'm not talking about a COVID mask. I'm talking about one of those see-through plastic masks.
Well, you remember Brown went for 61. It went 61 in one of those.
I just don't know if Covington could do that. So the point is, it's huge advantage. All of a sudden, LeBron got every break he could get. Or astute Laker fans will still sit back and say, well, you got a bunch of breaks. This felt meant to be.
They won't say that.
But in the end, it's a ring.
Yep.
Even though, in my point of view, from this side of the table, this ring should be made of cubic zirconia.
Stop doing that, Skip.
Well, that's what it is.
No,
it's
it's
a
not.
cubic zirconia
No, it's
ring.
not.
It's fraudulent. It was meant to be. He got every break. It was the easiest path to a finals he has ever had by far.
Would you have said that if it was Kawhi?
Kawhi, how?
Yeah, if Kawhi was in this position, would it be cubic zirconia? Would
Okay.
it need an asterisk?
Are you talking about if the Lakers had been upset by the Nuggets first? Is that what
If
you're
the
talking about?
Clippers were on the cusp of winning this title, would it be cubic zirconia? Would you say this about Kawhi's title, that it was faux?
I said that about Kawhi's title last year. Do you recall? Well, that's fine. You be my guest.
Yep.
All I know is that Tom Brady is 6-3.
You ain't
in the
talking about
finals.
Tom Skipper. I didn't say it was Tom Brady.
6-3 versus 3-6.
No. It's about to be something else. About to add a.
Okay, so the fourth ring comes against a Miami team that was a fifth seed in the East and that was 75-1 to get to the finals preseason.
Okay.
And what happened right on schedule in Game 1, as the Lakers were going on a 77-32 run in the middle of that game? That's hard to do. 77-32. You could see one team has two superstars, the other team doesn't have a superstar.
Right.
And the other team is playing high minutes, three rookies, not one or two, three. And one of them is the youngest to ever play in a finals, right?
Yep.
Tyler Hero.
Yep.
And then right on cue in the first game, Goran Dragic, their leading scorer in the playoffs to that point, is gone for the rest of the finals.
Yep.
And Bam is gone for 2 games of the finals. Well, what do you think's going to happen? You're going to win in 5. You should have won in 4.
No.
But
Skip,
Jimmy Butler had one of the greatest finals games ever played, certainly the greatest triple-double.
Right.
And that's what it took to beat you one time.
Well, Skip, injuries have always been a part of the NBA Finals. You remember Magic and Byron Scott, hamstrings. Isaiah hurts his ankle, and he wasn't able to play Game 7 after that historic Game 6.
I was there.
Those happen. Kareem having the migraine, even though Dr. Way hurt his ankle, and Dr. J and them weren't able to get Magic because Magic had a 42-15 and historic game, ends up winning Finals MVP. Injuries are a part of it because when you play this long, there's a possibility, and that's why you try to finish teams when you possibly can, Skip, because you don't know.
All right. So what happened? The pandemic happened, and your man got 5 months to get completely healthy and revitalized for a playoff run in the bubble, where he can go down and just lock in. He's not distracted. He doesn't have Hollywood tugging at his sleeves.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
We let Mav, when the basketball season's on, Mav handles all that. We let Rich Paul handle what he's supposed to. We let Randy handle what he's supposed to handle. We let Shannon handle what he's supposed to handle. So, the Horsemen, we stay locked in on our grind.
You're the fifth horseman. There's no doubt about that. So your man gets to play 35-39 Portland in the first round. And obviously Damian's lost after 2 of those games, right? 2 or 3 of those games. And then you're playing Houston, and all of a sudden Daniel House, a key cog in their attack, goes completely south. His bubble bursts when he violates quarantine restrictions, and it just rocks the Rockets, and they're a basket case, and they're gone. And then you avoid the Clippers, who are looking ahead to the Lakers, and don't take the Nuggets seriously.
But here's what I could understand that. If the Clippers had won had they been like Golden State, they had won 3 of the last 4 titles. And so they had accomplished something so we can look ahead. But what the hell had the Clippers accomplished? In the history of the Clippers, what had they done?
Well, they never had Kawhi and Paul George.
Oh, and I told you, think about that. They only won what, 2 more games than what they had? They won 47 games last year with no Kawhi, with no Paul George. And they took 2 games off the healthy Golden State. So you told me, the mentally tough. Everybody said the reason why the Clippers were going to beat the Lakers because they were more mentally tough.
That's correct.
And little did
I
they
didn't
know.
just say that. Everybody said that.
And guess who didn't say that?
And guess who the odds makers picked to win it all before the playoffs started? The Clippers.
And guess who was wrong? Who been right since day one? I told you they were mentally fragile.
And guess who deserves an asterisk beside this ring? LeBron James,
Don't do that,
because
Skip.
it should say on the ring, the underside of the ring should say no Clippers. Asterisk, no
But
Clippers.
the Clippers were there.
Huh?
The Clippers were there.
No, they weren't.
Skip,
They weren't there in the conference finals.
You can't get mad. Look, it's qualifying. It's like the Olympics. It's qualifying, the 100-meter final. Skip, you can't get mad if your time in the qualifying doesn't advance you. You can't get mad if you don't advance to the finals because you had that opportunity. It wasn't like the Clippers boycotted. This was not 1980. When the U.S. boycotted the Soviet games, or 84 when the Soviets returned the favor to us in 84. You were there. You didn't qualify. You didn't get to the finals. Now go home, go to Cancun, talk about how good you could have been and how you got a coach fired, a beloved coach, Paul George, Kawhi, Pat Bev. You got him fired.
I'm just embarrassed that we've come down to Game 5. It should have been over in 4. And you're resorting to your sacred Mamba jersey to kill a wounded gnat with a sledgehammer tonight. That's so outrageous. It's so not necessary.
Yes.
It has come to this.
Drop a bowling ball on a fly.
Yeah, that's
what that fly. You saw
And
that?
It's a wounded fly. It just has one wing.
Cars.
Yep.
Like that fly on VP Pence's head. That fly was doing like this here.
No, I saw it. Yep. So you'll take your ring to a jeweler and he'll say, it's cubic zirconia.
No, they Skip.
I can't appraise
and
this.
I told Broad that day, I said, I want you to make it a 4-finger ring.
Really?
Yeah, get a 4-finger. Have a leg all the way across it.
I think it's going to be just a faux ring.
Don't do
That's
this,
what it's
Skip.
gonna
Don't
be.
do this.
Faux ring.
Hey,
F-A-U-X faux ring.
tell you a little secret.
Yeah.
Keep this between you and I.
Yeah, right.
We're going to be back next year.
Yeah.